Welcome to GD News. I'm Craxo. I know, I'm back already. I thought I would be gone longer too. And we have a lot of news to cover for the last 2 months of June and July, so I'm going to get right into the completions. So first, I'm going to highlight two people that really beat quite a lot of extremes over the last 2 months, and that is Kyle and Arcta, of which is new to the GD ID community. The first person I will go over is Arcta, which Arcta, right off the bat, pretty much as soon as he joined the server, beat Bloodlust as a new hardest in just 9,600 attempts. Like, that's kind of crazy, bro. So Arcta started Bloodlust about a year ago and dropped it after getting some good runs, and came back to it the day before he beat it, got 38 to 100, and then proceeded to pretty much just get fluke progresses every like 5 minutes or so. So it was absolutely a crazy experience to watch on VC. He went from 68%, then to 72, then 77, then 90%. And then just about 5 minutes later, he beat it. So I'm gonna say that's a pretty crazy progression. And anyway, here is his reaction, along with the VC's reaction after that.
Yes! What the heck is that? Yes! Let's go!
Let's go! You've been defeated, Lord Horn.
Come on, he has to beat it right now.
Holy shit, 92. Dude, please don't fuck it up.
I swear to God.
Come on, please record, please record, please record. Go, 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 go.
Dude, yes! What the heck is this?
Yes! Let's go!
Let's go! Let's go! You've been dethroned, Lord Horn. You've been dethroned.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Dude, I actually can't believe that.
After beating Bloodlust, Arcta decided that it was somehow a good idea to go jump to Tartarus, a 100 place jump by the way, for the new hardest demon in the state. And after only like 2 months, he did it. He beat Tartarus in only 30,000 attempts, which is crazy. Here's that for you. Yes! On top of 2 new hardests, Arcta beat all these levels on the screen. Like, that's a lot of extremes, bro. And he beat Storming Summit as an, at the time, second hardest. Yes, dude!
Dude, you got it?
Yeah.
Let's go!
Oh.
Now let's move on to the Kylester. So Kyle over the past 3 months beat also quite a lot of extreme demons, not quite as many as Arcta did, but he still beat all these levels shown on screen. And on top of that, he also beat Quantum Processing as a second hardest after 23,119 attempts.
Yes! Yes!
What?
I beat it!
You beat it? Wait, what?
Oh
God.
Yeah!
Let's go! Oh my god!
So only one other person beat any extremes in the last 3 months, and that person was Rubrum. Rubrum came out with some crazy news just a couple days after Arcta beat Tartarus, saying that he himself also beat Tartarus as a jump from Erebus in 60,000 attempts. Now, unfortunately, he did not record this, so I'll only play his completion of Infernal Abyss.
Holy shit. Fuck off, bro.
That was all for the completion news, so now let's move on to the creator news. For the creator news, Rubrum was the only person that did anything major over the past 3 months. He made a part in Voltage as a collab with Silsa. He also made a part in Catastrophe, and his new part in Misanthrope. Go watch all 3 of those if you want to see them. And biggest news overall was him getting Cobalt Hell out and getting that first featured and first Extreme Demon created in Idaho. GG to him. Now let's move on to the GD US recap.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle, known as the thekylester, and I am going to be talking about a big event that Idaho was a part of a few months ago, called the GD US tournament, known as Battle of the States. This was a tournament where each state can show what they are made out of, and Idaho had a very successful stint at the tournament. The story starts in August 2024. Where Patrick61804, the owner of the GDUS, announced a national tourney for players to sign up for. As days went by for signups, only one person from Idaho signed up, which was Kyle. By the time registration closed, there were some teams without enough players to represent their own state, including Idaho, meaning that the state had to team up with another state. Initially, there were talks about Idaho pairing up with Utah, or even with Greater Idaho, but ultimately Idaho ended up in Team Yellowstone. The Team Yellowstone consists of Yellowstone. Idaho was paired up with Montana and Wyoming to form Team Yellowstone. The team was able to get another player to join as a reserve just in case, that player being Zoo. In the end, the players of Team Yellowstone consisted of Kyle and Zoo from Idaho, Doink, Jeffy Gornods, and Cody JB10 from Montana, and Mr. Atomic from Wyoming. The one weakness that Yellowstone had to deal with was with availability. Because of situations regarding real life, it is much harder for people to perform in a tournament with this setting. When qualifiers occurred, there were 3 levels, with 1 level per week, which were Zaf's Backyard, Death Intercept, and Corrosion. The lineup for those levels was Cody and Atomic for Zaf's, Kyle and Jeffy for Death Intercept, and Kyle and Doink for Corrosion. In the first round, being Zaf's, Yellowstone scored 1642 points, with Cody gathering 1588, while Atomic only got 54. Therefore, Yellowstone started off with 3 points in 33rd place at the end of the round, which was a potential elimination spot. After that week, Death Intercept was next, and Yellowstone scored 1844 points, with Jeffy scoring 591 and Kyle with 1253. Yellowstone had improved that round, getting 10th place out of all teams. Yellowstone went from 33rd with 3 points to 21st with 26 points, which is at least a spot in pot 3. After the big improvement, the last level of qualifiers was Corrosion, with Yellowstone getting 1092 points, with Doink getting 285, and Kyle with 807. The performance Yellowstone gathered was good for 18th place, and lowered the team from 21st with 26 points to 22nd with 40 points after 3 weeks, meaning that Yellowstone secured a spot in the knockout stage as a pot 3 team. When it came time for the match decider, teams were spun on a wheel to determine what 4-team match they will be on. The top 2 teams in the matchup will move on to the main bracket. Yellowstone narrowly avoided being in a group with New York, but in the end, Yellowstone was in a group with Kansas plus Missouri, Oregon, and Georgia. 3 levels were revealed again, but instead of 1 level per week, it was 3 levels in 1 day, with a new scoring format. The 3 levels that were revealed were Psychotic, Lotus, and Diogen. But a huge dilemma occurred since Jeffy had Aaron Saran, forcing an exit in his role for the round, and others were unavailable to play either, so spots were looking quite bleak, until I had an idea. So I went ahead and recruited some people from GD Idaho, and I was able to recruit Lord Hosh and Jitaru to be in the tournament. The positions for this round was Kyle and Lord Hosh for both Psychotic and for Lotus, and Doink and Jitaru for Diogen. Before the match started, there were issues with availability from our opponents as well, with Oregon and Kansas plus Missouri dropping out. This made Yellowstone and Georgia automatic locks to be in the main tournament, but seeding mattered in the tourney. So the matchup for this case was Yellowstone versus Georgia. The first level in this set was psychotic, with Yellowstone scoring 2943 points, with Kyle getting 1376 and Lord Hosh with 1567, with Yellowstone winning the first set with Georgia scoring 605, starting off 1-0. Yellowstone was off to a great start so far, getting into the next level, which was Lotus. Yellowstone scored 1272 points, with Kyle getting 483 and Lord Hosh getting 789. But one player from Georgia was a massive threat to take down Yellowstone in that entire match. That player being Andy the Great. He had scored 1119 points alone, contributing to Georgia winning the set with 1360 points in total, making the score 1-1. Now it was all up to Jataru and Doink to rebound and get a higher seed in the main bracket with Diogen. Yellowstone scored 967 points, with Jataru getting 823 and Doink getting 144. But unfortunately, Andy strikes again, this time completely outscoring the entire team with 1066 points alone, making Georgia the winner of the matchup 2-1 with 1177 points in total. After a fierce battle, Yellowstone has been put into the lower end to face either Connecticut Island, California, Pennsylvania, or Arizona. Yellowstone was put in a punishing situation when it came to the match decider by wheel spin after the hard-fought loss against Georgia. After the wheel decided the matchups, Yellowstone was the last team to be landed on, with them going against Arizona. When it came time for the matchups, there was a vote for the 3 levels to be played between Zinwa and Apex, Frozen and Ecstasy by Filk, and Gridlocked and Totem. After the vote ended, the 3 levels that were to be played ended up being Apex, Ecstasy, and Totem with the another scoring system. But the availability weakness from Yellowstone was at its worst, with Atomic having a scheduling failure for pre-recording for his matchup due to work, with Lord Hosh having to step in a few hours before the matchup, and Kyle and Lord Hosh were at our busiest due to college work. Meaning the lineups for that match were Kyle and Doink for Apex, Lord Hosh and Jeffy with Ecstasy, and Cody and Lord Hosh with Totem. With the match in play, Arizona chose to pick the level second, meaning that Yellowstone decided the first level, and they decided to start off with the strongest performance they had throughout the week, with Totem. Yellowstone scored 3045 points, with Lord Hosh getting 889 points, and Cody getting 2157, but the huge performance from Cody was not enough to stop a consistent Arizona team with 3489 points, starting off 1-0. After that, Arizona decided the next level will be Ecstasy. Yellowstone scored 2203 points, with Lord Hosh getting 902 and Jeffy getting 1301. Unfortunately, Yellowstone ended up getting stomped, with Arizona sweeping the series 2-0 with 3806 points. It was decided that Apex was not to be played, meaning that Kyle and Doink did not play in that matchup. With that, Yellowstone lost to Arizona and was eliminated from the GD West tournament in one of the most eventful moments we have ever witnessed. In the end, we at GD Idaho want to say thank you to Kyle, Lord Hosh, Zoo, Jataru, Cody JB10, Doink, Jeffy Gornods, and Mr. Atomic for participating and with their contributions towards Team Yellowstone, and to Patrick61804 for giving us the opportunity to prove ourselves to not only to be seen, but to show how good we are as GD players and as a team.
Thank you guys so much for watching. It took a long time to make this, and we'd really appreciate if you would hit that like and subscribe. Also, go check out the creators of this show, Craxo and Lord Hosh. The links to their channels will be in the description. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. See you all next month. This is Lord Hosh, out.